Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. We've got a big weekend ahead of us for those of you who are coming to the Polish and Beauty Expo. If you are like, girl, what is the Polish and Beauty Expo? Never heard of it. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I put a link in the description to a video I posted a little while ago that gives an overview of what PBE is, what to expect from it, tips, strategies, all that good stuff. But so I'm filming this on a Thursday, the Thursday before PBE, where the shopping part of the expo happens on Sunday. And I was just like, okay, yay, I'm feeling really hyped for PBE, but then I'm like, I have not really started to think about any kind of strategy for what I actually want to buy. So maybe I should take some time to, start looking over the makers' shopping lists that they create. Typically, I know those are posted in the files section of the Polish and Beauty Expo Facebook group. I believe some makers also post their shopping lists like on their own social media pages, so check those out as well. But as I was going through a few of those lists today, I was thinking like, okay, I knew I was starting to feel like I wanted to make another PBE related video because I want to talk about PBE a little bit more, but I didn't want it to just be like me rambling about PBE. But, I am saving a part for the end of this where like all of my random, rambly thoughts I can just put in there and just have at it. But I was going through these lists, and so the makers will often have like, there will be some PBE exclusive polishes that they will offer for sale at the expo. Some makers will also, like, let's say if they have an upcoming collection that they are going to be launching on their website sometime in the next few weeks or so, to everyone to buy from their website, they'll have that as sort of like an early shopping access at the expo as well. But then beyond those PBE exclusives and those like early collection releases, you also have makers who will bring a small selection of their core collection. The core collection meaning like polishes that are part of their like permanent collection, that previous collections that are some of their most popular releases. And the thing is, I feel like because, you've got most of the focus tends to be on the newer releases, I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about which of the like older polishes they're hoping to pick up. Now, on the one hand, I get it. Like if you've got a budget for, however much you're wanting to spend at PBE, it makes a lot of sense that you would probably want to prioritize the polishes that are PBE exclusive that you may not be able to get afterwards if there's not any overpours. But I also think, say it's the case that there's a maker who just has like one polish that you've heard a lot of great things about and you've been wanting to try that polish for a while, but like you don't want to have to go through the process of like placing an order on their website for a single polish, that this is a really good time to check their shopping list and see if that maker is happening to bring that polish so that you can buy it at PBE. So then I was like, ooh, okay, here's the topic for today's video. I looked through some of the shopping lists and then I pulled out from my collection, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've got 5 polishes from 5 different makers that I'm going to show you all, as far as these are ones that I've had in my collection for a while, that most of them have a considerable fill line, as you will see. And just like I did for the polish pickup or PPU rewind video a little bit ago, I do want to make sure I start with a disclaimer that I know that, for many of you, if you happen to come across this video because you are searching for content related to the Polish and Beauty Expo, the majority of the videos that you're going to be seeing about PBE are coming from swatchers who receive batches of polishes from makers, and they're going to do like 10, 15, 20 polishes in a single video because that's what they are there to do. For me, however, I'm not a swatcher. I do other things with nail polish here on this channel, and so I just want to make sure everyone knows this video, I'm not going to be going through like that many different polishes. Rather, these first of all, I'm not affiliated with any of these brands. These are all polishes I've bought myself, and I just love them, and that's why I'm showing them. And I'm presenting them, each of them, in two different ways. The first I'm going to show you is how it just looks if you were to just wear it on its own. And then the second way I'm going to show you is how it looks when it is like styled. So I'm really into fashion. I'm really into making intentional like color and pattern choices. I mean, you can even see like everything in the colors I've chosen today for even my Apple Watch, my nails, my glasses. It's all intended to be a vibe here, right? And if you're kind of new to this concept of like styling or layering nail polishes together to create a new look, I like to describe it as like, okay, red carpet, Zendaya. She's out there just crushing it right now because she's in so many different movies. I think most recently she's been promoting The Odyssey. And as someone who personally is very into fashion, I am always in awe of the stylistic choices that are made between, in collaboration with Zendaya and her stylist, Law Roach. And it's like, some people may look at fashion and think, oh, you're just wearing a dress. Okay, so what? Like anyone could choose that dress to wear. But the thing is, it's not just about the dress. It's all about everything else that goes into how it is styled. Everything from her nails, her makeup, her hair, even her shoes, the way that she walks in different outfits to fit a certain theme. It's part of the styling. And so whenever I am going through the process of layering nail polishes to style them, I kind of think to myself, my goal is to be like the Law Roach of nail polish, if you will. And so that's, going to be the second part of what I show you for each of these polishes. So how they look on their own, and then also a suggestion for what you can do with this polish to use it together with other ones that you already have to give it an even more elevated look. So that is going to be the structure of all of that. Like I mentioned at the end of the video, I'm going to have probably just random PBE ramblings. We'll see how that goes. But then before we jump in, and I know this intro has been so long already, I'm so sorry, but y'all, I promise this next thing I'm going to show you, you're going to want to see this. So I'm super excited to show you this. I decided that, okay, let me just show you. I made a sticker. There it is. So let me hold this in a way that y'all can actually see what it says. So it's like, Oli Nails, go into the club. By the way, okay, so this I drew myself completely. I'm gonna put over here, probably starting with the initial sketch that I drew for this, because you all know, like, whenever I see something sparkly, I say like, oh, it's like a watermelon that's going to the club or something. And I had this vision of that, and then I sketched it out on my iPad. So no AI for this. I'm also going to put in the little time lapse so that you can see it. But yeah, I was like, I often will respond to your comments about stuff going to the club, and I'll have like a disco ball emoji that I use. So my vision was make the O and Oli like a disco ball. And then there's little nail polish bottles on the dance floor. And of course, one of them is dark vampy red because I mean, that's what I wear all the time. And then also teal, because I like teal. So anyway, if you see me at PBE this weekend, y'all, I got a bunch of these. I'm handing these out for free at PBE. Woo! I wanted to make this as a way to just, kind of celebrate being at nearly 1,000 subscribers. My goodness, we're going to talk about that in another video. Woo! You know, if there are any of you who will not be at PBE but who want one of these stickers, probably sometime shortly after PBE, I'm gonna see about setting up, like, I don't know, a little mini shop where I can sell these for a couple dollars, just to handle, you know, the costs and shipping and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in. But yeah, I had so much fun making these stickers. I also was very intentional in the font that's the same font that's up here is the one that you see in my intro. The same font down here is the one that I use also in the title intro. So yeah, please say hi at PBE. I've got so many of these stickers to give out, and I hope you all enjoy these. I hope that you are able to take it with you, and you know, wherever you go, have a day that is filled with sparkle and going to the club. Okay, long intro, but with all that being said, let's get into it.
As always, I like to begin by showing y'all what's on my nails today. Today's is pretty simple and straightforward. I started, so the main polish I'm using is this one from Glam Polish. It's a gorgeous like magenta flake polish called Glamour and Glitter, Fashion and Fame. And because this is a polish that unfortunately is no longer available, in order to preserve the longevity of it, what I did is that I started with one coat of a similar colored cream polish to give me the full opacity that I want. And then from there, I just used 2 coats of the Glam Polish one. For things like this though, I definitely recommend using a glitter smoother because these flakes dry down kind of flat, and so using a glitter smoother helps to make them a little bit more lively again. And yeah, just while we're here, just for scale, here is the Oli Nails sticker placed next to a nail polish bottle so that you can, you know, see more detail there and also see the size of it. I'm going to go through these in alphabetical order based on the brand name. So that means we're starting with Alchemy Lacquers. This one is called Calaveritas, which means skulls in Spanish. And the fill line here is like right around where the A in Lacquers is. So I'm just about halfway through with this one. It is a stunning, vibrant, purplish pink, flaky polish. So as I'm talking, I'm gonna start building it up in 2 different ways, and we'll talk about this here. Let's see, I think I'll start on this swatch here. Okay, so yeah, this is one that I just love, this particular shade of purple, and it is pretty much the exact same kind of finish to what I have on my nails right now with the Glam polish. I also love it when there's like a big old flake like that comes out. It's just like, dang, that is big. So this is going to be the swatch that I build it up on its own, but then I'm also going to show you in a different way. So the first thing that I want to do here with option 2 is to put down a matching like cream, or I think this one is more of a crelly polish, Sally Hansen Insta Dry Vivid Voltage, because that allows me to use fewer coats of Calaveritas in order to get to full opacity. You know, this was a polish that I had previously tried, Vivid Voltage, back as I was like, you know, on the hunt for my ideal blurple polish. And it's, I could definitely see how some people interpret this to be a blurple. For me, this is kind of like full on just true purple, but unfortunately it didn't meet my needs for my ideal blurple polish. But hey, for times like this where I want like a matching color to Calaveritas to put that over, you can just see the color similarity in the bottle there. It's really great to have this match so well. I am curious to see how this big flake is gonna either still be prominent or maybe like get hidden to some extent as we build this up a little bit more. So coat number 2. Oh, you can still see it, okay. Yeah, if I were actually painting my nails, I would probably remove that one because you see it's kind of poking up a bit. This is literally the first time I've ever seen a flake that large come out of my Calaveritas bottle though, so that is a rare occurrence, I would say. So now I'm gonna put this over Vivid Voltage, and hopefully you can already start to see the difference here in that I'm at 2 coats of Calaveritas on its own, and then so on the left, and then on the right I've got 1 coat of Vivid Voltage as like a matching cream crelly for opacity, and then 1 coat of Calaveritas on top. Again, I mean, I know this is on a clear swatch stick, so it's not going to mimic exactly how this would look on the left if I were to just put this on my bare nail, but you can hopefully see the difference in just how rich that color is when you put it over a matching cream. So on the left, we're going to finish this one out with 1 last coat of Calaveritas. I'm also going to add a 2nd coat of it over here. And, you know, depending on how much you want to build this up, like there have been times when, like if I'm in a pinch, I could totally just do like 1 coat of the base and then 1 coat of the flake polish as a topper and then leave it at that. But, okay, let's just, while this is drying and before we get on to the last step for this one, this is just everything to me. It is just such a rich, vibrant purple with these pops of pink that come out from underneath it, you know? And I think that as I'm looking at these side by side, having Calaveritas put over top of a purple base is allowing those pink flakes to pop in a different way that I really, really like. So the last thing that I'm gonna do for this one is to come in with my favorite black flake topper from Cracked called Mascara Flakes. I feel that Calaveritas, you know, it's great, you know, it's a beautiful polish, but whenever I wear this, I just feel like there's something missing. And that thing that is missing to me is black flakes. So I'll show you this, and this is the last piece that I use to kind of style and transform this whenever I wear it. Also, you don't want to put on like too many, you know, like, or you want to be intentional about how you apply this, because if you go in for, say, too many flakes, then you run the risk of having those black flakes become more prominent than what's underneath, whereas you want the black flakes to be more like what is in the glam polish that's on my nails right now. You see how there are flakes in here, like the black flakes, but they're not the star of the show. Just like over here, now we have black flakes, but those are also not the star of the show. They are giving a little bit of color variation, a little bit more depth and dimension that I feel just isn't there when you wear Calaveritas on its own. So yeah, hopefully this gives you some suggestions for how to wear it. One last recommendation, just like I mentioned when I was explaining how I'm wearing this, I do recommend using a glitter smoother like Glisten & Glow's Glitter Grabber together with Calaveritas. Now, whenever it is the case that I wear Calaveritas and then put mascara flakes on top of it, the way that I personally do this is that I do, you know, the cream, the purple cream base. Then I do my 2 coats of Calaveritas, and then I put on the glitter smoother, let that fully dry, and then I go back in with mascara flakes before finishing off with top coat. The reason I do this is that I feel that mascara flakes as a topper doesn't really add in much, if any, additional physical texture in the way that I'm getting with a flake heavy polish like Calaveritas. And so because of that, I want to make sure that the smoothing power of the glitter grabber is going to really be most like taking the most effect directly on the flakes, as opposed to like putting this on top of mascara flakes and then, you know, so it's like, that's how I personally do it. You know, definitely experiment with order and see what works for you. But yeah, I'm going to put glitter smoother and top coat on both of these, and then show it in some other lighting. The next polish is from BCB Lacquers. It's called Phero-Moans. Fill line check. It is about, for me, like right in between the BCB and the Lacquers is where how much of this I have used up. I love this. It is a vibrant pink polish that, well, let me start swatching and we'll talk. Vibrant pink, and it has blue shimmer already in it. But there's going to be a twist with how I do this, so we'll see how that goes. I'm actually going to start swatching the second one out first, because that's going to be the one where I put more stuff on it. I mean, look at this, right? It's, and this is one that I know I've mentioned I'm a seasonal polish wearer for the most part, but this is a pink that I can feel comfortable with wearing all year round. You know, I just it's bright, it's vibrant, but I feel like I can still get away with wearing this in the winter if I want to. You know, if there's a day when I'm just like, I'm cold, but I want to feel bright and colorful. Phero-Moans, y'all, that is it. I think probably because of the blue shimmer that's in it. This is such a gorgeous color. And just to show you with the finger behind, I say the finger like it's like not mine, oh goodness. You can see just how opaque it gets in one coat. I believe I typically wear this in 2 coats, and sometimes depending on like how my nails are looking and if I really want to have like 100% opacity, I'll sometimes wear it over a blurring base, so like 2 coats over a blurring base, but that's only if I'm being like super picky. Okay, I forgot the second coat there. We're going to build up the second coat on this one here too. Now what I like about this, one of the things I'll say I like about this is that if you are someone who wants just a little bit of shimmer with a pink polish like this, this is perfect for you, because it just has like a hint of blue shimmer in it. You know, it's not gonna knock you over the head and be like, whoa, that is too much going on. So just like we did with Calaveritas, we're gonna kind of style and transform this a bit. We're gonna keep the one on the left the same as is. That's Phero-Moans straight out of the bottle in 2 coats. But now let me show you how I like to wear this polish. Okay, so I really love shimmer, and while this is a good start of blue shimmer, it's not enough for me. So I go in with a blue shimmer topper like this one from Fancy Gloss, Let It Glow Blue, to kind of kick things up a notch. Okay. And then you'll see, I need to look at how much of this I've used of that bottle, y'all. Okay. Yeah, I think that adding in some extra blue for me just really, I don't know what it is about hot pink and blue shimmer that just works so well together. But I love that even when I've gone in with a little bit more blue shimmer, I can still tell that yeah, this is hot pink underneath. For times when I might want to emphasize more of the pink than the blue though, that would be when I just wear Phero-Moans as is. But that's not all. There's more that I do with this. This to me, yes, I added in some blue shimmer. It's more blue now, right? But the way that my mind works and thinks about nail polish layering and styling is that I can always sense when I need to add just one more thing, you know, and in this case, there is just one more thing I need to add, and that is, you guessed it, glitter. Now, and let me actually pull over here. So here's one example of hollow glitter, silver scattered hollow from ILMP, My Private Rainbow X. I would not recommend this or any kind of glitter that's this size because it's a little bit too large to compete with what you've already got going on there. Instead, what I do is pull out, this is from Starly called Stars. This is the daintiest silver hollow scattered topper that I have in my collection, and hopefully you can see just from looking at the glitter particles in the bottle the size difference there. I use My Private Rainbow X on the left for times when I'm like, I want to see like bam, like sparkling rainbows all in my face. That's what I want. But in this case, because the hollow is not going to be the star of the show or the stars of the show. I feel like the blue shimmer is what I want the standout to be, and instead I want the stars dainty hollow topper to be more of like that icing on the cake, where it's just like you've got your blue shimmer and then the sparkling stars are where that shimmer just kind of illuminates the most. And there you have it. This is the way that I wear Phero-Moans. So hopefully you can start to see as we go along what I mean about how, yes, these polishes are absolutely great as they are out of the bottle, but like this is how I prefer to wear it, you know. I love it. So top coat, other lighting, and we'll move on. The next polish is from Gin and Berries. This one is this gorgeous red, like orange gold flake polish called You Know Who, and I adore this. I was like, okay, I love red polishes and I love flake polishes, and it took me a bit to realize I did not have a red flake polish. So once I saw that You Know Who existed, I was like, ooh, I am adding that into my collection. So you can see how this builds up here. It's like you've got this red jelly base and these like reddish orange goldish, I keep saying ish, y'all know what I mean, flakes that are in there. So this is going to build up to 3 coats, like if you wanted to wear it to probably full opacity. But what I'm going to show you is another option that starts with wearing a matching red cream polish first. The one that I'm using is from Cracked called Calabrian Pepper. I didn't realize my fill line was, oh, I've got a fill line there now. Okay. I love this red. It's like, it's my go-to blue-ish red or blue base red polish, and I adore it. If I wanted to wear Calabrian Pepper to full opacity, I mean, like 1 coat gets me almost there. If I wear this on its own, it's in 2, but we're gonna put some more of You Know Who over this along with something else on top of that. So you can kind of see from here already just how similar these two are. Also, you may notice that now my my additional lighting is working over here. It was not working earlier, so in editing, I'm going to color correct things for the first 2 polishes to make sure that we can see those in some good lighting. But yeah, it's nice to have my additional light source again. Okay. Here we go for the second coat of Q No Who. And you know, when I first wore this polish the first few times, this was how I wore it, just on its own. And I liked it enough, but I was like, something is kind of missing here for me. So we'll see how I layer it. Let's go into the second one. Also, I'm now filming this on the next day, shortly after I finished up with the BCB Lacquers Phero-Moans. Jack and I, my husband, we went out to see the Odyssey without giving any spoilers away. Absolutely loved it, and highly recommend going to see it. I'll probably go back and see it again before it leaves theaters. But yeah, that movie was like 3 hours long, and that's not even factoring in trailers. So by the time I got home from that, I was like, we're gonna finish this the next day. All right, so let's finish up with one more coat of Q No Who over here. And this option as it is, I would say, is like, if you are wanting to have more of a like a lighter look to the polish, do you see how it's almost in some ways looking like pink-ish? By no means is it pink like Phero-Moans, but this is a lighter option, I think. Now, what if you want to do a little bit of a deeper red look? Now, one thing you could do is to build this up with a second coat of Q No Who. It's up to you. I will say, when I tend to wear it this way, I do just the Calabrian pepper, then Q No Who, and then this last piece, just one coat of each. But if you wanted some additional depth, you absolutely could do that. I'm going to finish this off with a red jelly polish. So this is Starly's Blood Belly Jelly. And here we go. This is just, I love this combination together. Okay. There we go. Oh, I love red. Y'all, sometimes I just be saying stuff on here. But like, okay, just, here's what I love about this. First, it like adding okay, so starting with Calabrian pepper or whichever kind of red cream polish you have is going to give you that base level opacity, right? Then you add in Q No Who, and where that comes in is that you get those just glorious, red flakes that are in there with like just a little flicker of gold that's in there too. But then when you put a red jelly on top of that, it deepens it even more. And like, if you are wanting your nails to be like red, like really like boom red, like people see your nails from across the room kind of red, this kind of combination is what I would recommend for using Q No Who. And once again, one of the reasons why I love doing this kind of layering combination is that I get this look with only needing to use up one coat of Q No Who, as opposed to over here where you're using 3 coats of it. That's just, I don't know. I know I say this a lot, but the way that I think about using my nail polish tends to be one where I will take good advantage of like using up the things that are like the creams, the jellies that are easier for me to replace, that tend to be lower cost, that tend to be not limited edition. And Q No Who is part of Jen and Barry's regular collection, so that's not the distinction I'm making here, but just saying that like, if you are trying to get some more use out of your more like staples in your collection, like your creams and jellies, like y'all, start with a cream, put in, like sandwich in a matching flake polish, like you know who, top it off with the jelly. This is, and y'all know me, like I probably would put glitter on top of this. I'm not gonna put glitter on this right now, but you could. So I'll put some top coat on this and we'll see it in some other lighting. So speaking of red and my love for red polishes, that now brings us to probably my top favorite red polish in my collection. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I'm claiming that. This is Lurid Lacquer Blood Bag. Let's begin and let's talk about this. So you all know that I am someone who not just loves red polish, but specifically dark, vampy red polish. I have many of these in my collection, many of that type of polish, but I wear different ones at different times, like if I'm feeling a different mood, but by far the one that I go for when I'm like, I really want to make a dark red statement is Blood Bag. I think part of it is that it matches my hair color. Like when my hair gets fully touched up with color, like I'll kind of stop here for just a second so you can see, like when I go and get my hair done and my hairstylist mixes up the custom color blend that he does for my hair, there was some trial and error with it as we went over like the years, and at times previously, like I thought I wanted more of like a fire engine red. I was like, ooh, no, that is not me. But the red blend that we go with now is one that is rooted more with like a magenta berry leaning red to it, and it's something that you wouldn't necessarily notice if you just see my hair from a distance, but let's just say if you were to see my bathtub, you would know that it has those that kind of undertone to it. And yeah, so that's one of the things I love about Blood Bag, and this is gorgeous. So if you as I'm swatching this, I'm gonna say, like, take a guess as to what you think I'm gonna do to option number 2. Just, not that I'm a predictable person at times, maybe I am, but like y'all who've been watching my videos for a while, just humor me and guess what you think is coming next. Yeah. So here is where we are with 2 coats. And I think that for many of you, especially if you want a bit of a lighter look, 2 coats is probably where you would end up stopping. But I want to say the last time I wore this, I went and pushed it to a 3rd coat, and I did in fact see a difference with that. So I am going to go ahead and do that now. Y'all, I'm on my 2nd bottle of this, and we have a fill line that's like, let me show y'all where this is. It's like in between the Lurid and Lacquer. That is how much I use Blood Bag. Love it. Okay, let's go on to that. All right, yeah, also if anyone has tips on how to like remove red hair dye from a bathtub, please let me know. I have tried everything. I think I haven't tried sunscreen yet. Someone told me that would work pretty well. I've tried magic erasers. I've tried the pink stuff. Yeah, I've tried everything. It does not budge. So yeah, just gonna pause here real quick. I can in fact see a difference there. I think that if you stop at the 2, it gives you like a lighter, less intense berry, like deep look. But if you really want that red to come through, I do recommend going for the 3rd coat, but I believe you will get full opacity in just the 2. It's just a matter of like how deep you want that red to go. Okay. So, now, if you've made a guess as to what you think is coming next, let me put the cap on this so I don't spill it or anything. How many of you guessed that red reflective glitter topper was coming next? Who would have thought? I never wear this topper. I mean, girl, I do. So as this is drying a bit, I'll say I think that like in the days and weeks leading up to Polish and Beauty Expo, I've been going back and forth on like what outfits, because I'm going to the Saturday night meet and greet, or Saturday afternoon, evening, whatever time it is on Saturday, I'm going to the meet and greet. And then there's also the Expo shopping day on Sunday. So for me, that means not just 2 outfits, but 2 different manicures. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing for that Sunday. I think Sunday is going to be like my more bright and colorful day. But then dark vampy Olivia has to make an appearance. So I think that if you see me on Saturday, I'm almost certain, unless I have some kind of last minute change that I do, I think that Blood Bag with my red reflective glitter topper is going to be it. Because like, especially like if y'all have never seen a like red reflective glitter topper used in person, like please come find me this weekend or on Saturday specifically if I'm wearing this, and I will show you just how gorgeous this can be. Now, I actually do go back and forth over whether or not I like to put the topper on it, because there have been times when I've worn it with it, times when I've worn it without. And actually, I take back what I said about probably wearing it with it. I don't know, because I think that adding the red reflective glitter gives you some additional red sparkle, which there are times when that is what I want, but it unfortunately takes away from some of the depth and the darkness that you get when you just wear it on its own. So like when I'm doing in-person work events, for example, and I want like a strong red nail polish to wear, I do it without the reflective glitter, because especially when you put top coat on this, ooh, it is so stunning, so glossy. But other times when I'm like, I want to wear like a dark red, but I want it to be a little bit more like festive, that's where the red reflective glitter comes in. So now I'm actually going back and forth over what I'm gonna be wearing tomorrow. I don't know, so we'll see. If nothing else, it probably might be Blood Bag, but I guess you'll have to come find me and find out. So before we go on, something I want to do is test out a different workaround for using that red reflective glitter with Blood Bag. I'm pulling in this black jelly polish that I was using for the next polish. This is Charcoal Custard from Blank Beauty. And so I've put down 2 coats of Blood Bag so far, and now I'm gonna deepen it a bit with this black jelly, because what I'm thinking is that the issue I was having with, or that not just today but in the past when I've put red reflective glitter right on top of Blood Bag, is that because Blood Bag already has so much like underlying shimmer in itself, like you can see here in the bottle how that is, and then if I were to put reflective glitter on top of that, instead of that reflective glitter like kind of contributing to the overall glow and sparkle in a good way, it seems to fight with it. So what I'm gonna do here is see how it works if I, and I'm liking this better already actually, 2 coats of Blood Bag, 1 coat of a black jelly, and now I'm going to put the red reflective glitter on top of this. And my hope is that this will allow the reflective glitter to have its own moment in the sun, so to speak, so that the black jelly is essentially functioning as a barrier between blood bag and the glitter, but also providing the extra level of depth that we were getting from the third coat of blood bag. Yes, this looks so much better. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna show you how this looks in other lighting, together with the previous swatch, which, by the way, heads up, as I was just sitting here minding my own business, I somehow like smudged that swatch and had to like touch it up a bit. So y'all, I'm clumsy sometimes. So yeah, I think this is going to be what I wear tomorrow. Yay! The final polish that I'm going to show y'all today comes from Tyler's Trinkets. It is called Rhinestone Cowboy. Yeehaw! So, y'all probably, I mean, I say y'all a lot. I'm Southern. That's just, well, funny thing is, okay, as I'm putting this down, I'll tell y'all how my accent came to be. So, I've mentioned on here before, I, from DC, that's where I grew up in Maryland. And so when I'm out and I meet people, they're like, wait, so you're from, I mean, Maryland, DC is technically south of the Mason-Dixon line, but they're like, that's not that Southern, and where's your accent come from? And I would explain, well, when my mom and her family were growing up in DC in the 1940s, that was around the time where you had a lot of people coming up to that area from like North and South Carolina. And so because of that, they grew up with neighbors who had, who spoke like the way that I do here, right? So you have it where like you ask someone who's from like say DC or Maryland, they might speak a certain way, but and believe me, I actually have video footage somewhere of myself from like when I was a kid and the spelling bee, spelling out the word opal, and the way that I spelled it, I'm not even exaggerating, sounded like opal. O-P-A-L, opal. Not kidding. So like, so when I say y'all a lot, that really is where this comes from. And so when I have polishes like Rhinestone Cowboy, I just get, it just makes me feel right at home. So here's what we've got so far with this. And Rhinestone Cowboy, okay, so like I said, I love flakes. And when just like I did with Know Who, when I was thinking, well, at the time, I didn't already have a nice, or I don't think I even had any kind of brown flake polish in my collection. So I knew I needed to fix that. And that's where Rhinestone Cowboy came in. And if I show the finger test behind here, you can see you get full opacity with this in just 2 coats. It builds up really, really well. And here's how it looks on its own. You know, you can absolutely stay with it like that. But for me personally, part of what I love the most about this polish is the darkness that it has, especially as I look around the edges of it there. You know, like you see how it's almost like this gradient look that you get because of like the curvature of a nail, that it looks brightest on the top, but then it starts to look darker towards the sides. I like that a lot. And so with the way that I wear this polish, I lean into that. So there's 2 things I'm going to do. One is going to be to darken it a bit. And I use this like sepia black ish jelly polish from Blank Beauty called Charcoal Custard. I believe it recently, sometimes Blank Beauty changes in the names of their jelly polishes. So I'll put a little caption in there of what the current name is, in case you're interested in this. So I'm going to add in just a coat of this because with jellies being buildable, you don't want to make it too much darker, but a little bit goes a long way, but just enough to give it more of like a shadowy appearance. Okay. And on the topic of stuff going to the club, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, this is going to be going to the club, but it's going to be in a very specific way that is a little unhinged, but I've got a vision for this. So with it going to the club, that must mean that there's glitter coming. Yay. And what I use for this is this gold reflective glitter topper that is actually a diluted version of this one from Starly called Golden Starlight. So you can see here that it's pretty packed as it is straight out of the bottle. But for me, as someone who prefers in general a lower particle density, I pretty much just started with some glitter suspension base, poured in a teeny amount of Golden Starlight, mixed it up, poured it in here, and this is what I use as a topper now. I forget if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but if not, I'll put a link in the description to my recent polish making video where I talk all about glitter. I basically just decided one day to sit down and be like, I'm gonna make a video about glitter. I love glitter, so let's talk about it. And I talk about like reflective versus hollow and everything in there too. So before I do that though, hopefully you can see the difference there. Like what I mentioned, especially about those shadows being there. And this is the advice I would give to you as you are taking a look at any polish in your collection and trying to think, how do you want to style it or how do you want to layer it? The question you want to ask yourself is, what is it that you most enjoy about that polish? And that can help you to get a better sense of where you might want to go with emphasizing that a bit more. So for me, like I said, what I like about this is the darkness of it, and I wanted more of that. And so that is just, I love this. I still have that essence of Rhinestone Cowboy, but in a way that just speaks to the darkness of my soul. So now I'm adding on some gold reflective glitter. Gold because I feel like it pairs very well with the brown that we have. And y'all, okay, follow the vision here. The vision is, it's a potato, but not just any potato. It's a baked potato. Okay, it's a baked potato. It's kind of hot, but it's not just a baked potato. It's a baked potato that is a detective. Why a detective? Because it's in the darkness, right? It's creeping through the shadows. But not just that, it's a baked potato detective that's going to the club and doing some investigating. If you meet me at the Polish and Beauty Expo, this is the kind of energy I bring to life, so you have been warned. Yeah, so hopefully, the takeaway here is you start with a polish like Rhinestone Cowboy, and it's it gives you so much to work with already, but just add another couple stuff, style it, and boom, there you go. So top coat, other lighting, and we'll get wrapped up.
Yeah, so I hope that this video has helped you to get a sense of some polishes that may not have been on your radar, but that will be available to buy at the Polish and Beauty Expo. And I'm also really glad that I figured out what I like, how I can really use my beloved red reflective glitter topper to get the look that I want from Blood Bag by adding in a black jelly in between there. You know, I as much planning and thought as I put into my videos, I also love it when it happens to be the case like today, where something unexpected happens and I'm in real time being like, okay, so let me just kind of walk you through how I'm thinking about this experiment right now. We'll see what happens, because really I feel like is such the fun or part of the fun of working with nail polish and learning new things along the way. And if any of you who are going to be at PBE have been like, Olivia, like, why is this girl always talking about red reflective glitter? Trust me, you will. Why am I like waving this around like let me put down the stick. Okay, so yeah, like I said in the beginning of this video, yesterday, because you know we're on the next day now, I also want to save some time at the end of this video for just like random PBE ramblings that I have, which, okay, where do I want to start? First, Jack, my husband, is the best husband ever, because he said to me just so casually the other day, he's like, yeah, so I know we haven't talked about this yet, but for when we're going to PBE on the Sunday Expo day, both my hands are yours, so feel free to paint them however you like, and that way as we're going around and meeting people, you can show off my nails to them too. I was just like, what? Huh? Really? He's like, yeah. And so I have a vision in mind for what I'm gonna do. I'm so excited. I wanted it to be something that is very much Jack too. So like, because I asked him like, what would you like the theme to be? And because I said, oh, I can do like nail art. And now, mind you, last year before he went to Gen Con, this like annual like board gaming convention that happens every like August, I believe, in Indianapolis. He's going to that like in a few weeks. He was like, hey, you can paint my nails for that too. And I did magnetics on him, and he sat so still for it. Like, he is always in motion. Like I can always tell if something is like, if he's having an off day, I can tell, because he suddenly has become very still, and I'm just like, you good? and you know, so it did not surprise me when he was like, yeah, let's not do nail art, because that would require even more sitting. I'm like, cool, but I wanted it to be something where it's like, it's not just really nice nails, but also something that represents who he is. And so I'm not going to spoil what that is, so when you see him, you're just gonna have to like say hi and be like, so what's on your nails? And he'll tell you all about it. Okay, so that's that. Also, yeah, I'm gonna be doing his nails before he goes to Gen Con in a few weeks there. That's gonna be Magic the Gathering themed. And he was also like, you can do my nails for that. And he never wears nail polish as a regular thing, so this is like a special occasion kind of thing for him. He's like, not only can I do his nails, but he's like, I can make video content out of it. Y'all, that's love. That is support right there. So I am very happy and appreciative of that. So now let's talk about some random thoughts I've got on the shopping side of things. And okay, so as much as I am someone who, in many parts of my life, I like structure and stuff, there are also parts of my life where I'm just like, I'm just gonna go with the flow, see how it goes. And so, you know, those of you who are in the Polish and Beauty Expo Facebook group, and you've been seeing all the posts about different makers and what they're gonna have there, and you have probably been seeing discourse about people talking about how they're planning and what kind of spreadsheets they're using and how they're organizing. And for those of you who have some kind of system set up for that, I love that for you. Please feel free to share your insights in the comments for what works for you. But at the same time, for those of you who are just kind of like, hey, you're gonna maybe take a look over a preview of what's available at PBE, but you're not necessarily coming up with any certain like strategy for which tables you're gonna stop at first or anything like that, or if you're somewhere in between. I just wanna say that all of that is valid. And where I reside on this is like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do one like kind of pass through of the like looking over the materials in advance to see, is there any table in particular where I'm like, oh, I absolutely want to make sure I can try to get that. And maybe I'll do it, or like I send Jack to one table, I do one table myself or something like that. But like for the most part, I am just I'm taking the approach of I'm just gonna go and see what I like and see what speaks to me. I feel that for myself, part of this is that I don't necessarily want to set myself up with the idea of this is something that if I don't end up getting this and this and that and that I'm gonna have a bad time. And I'm not trying to imply that that's the case for any of you who are using more structured systems. I'm just saying that for myself, I know that with the way that my brain works and the way that I tend to feel about things is that if I go in and set the stakes way too high for myself, then I will start focusing more on that part of the experience rather than everything else that I want to experience, which is more just like being surrounded by other people who love nail polish. And so, yeah, I will say, if anything, some of the things that have stood out to me are, I know Jen and Barry's is always one of my favorite places to shop at, and seeing what they've got available is going to be like, that's probably the first table I'm going to go to, just because of the sheer amount of like, that's a brand that I think by far has like I saw like, oh, okay, I don't want to just get one polish there. I'm like, I want to get like multiple stuffs there. And then also I think Rogue Lacquer, because I love flake polishes, and even though I do the thing where I'm like, I dilute my flake polishes sometimes, like if they're very packed in, like Rogue's tends to be. But what I love about Rogue's flake polishes is like the color blend there. I may not necessarily like how jam-packed they are with flakes, but I like the blend, so I keep the color blend, but I just dilute it to my preference there. So probably Rogue as well. I'm excited. It's hard to believe that PBE weekend is already almost upon us. Another factor too, for those of you who are not yet in the Chicago area and are traveling in from out of town for this, please, I encourage you, take care of your respiratory health, because we are experiencing some considerable bad air quality because of the breeze that's coming down from the Canadian wildfires, which I know, to put in perspective, what we are experiencing here is nowhere near the scale of everything that's going on with the people who are actually in Canada and much closer to the actual fire. So I'm not trying to make that comparison, but I am saying that, like, if like me, you are someone who can be challenged in the respiratory sense, like I have, I'm even like feeling in my breath right now as I'm like breathing and taking bigger breaths than I normally do. I encourage you, bring masks if that would make it more comfortable for you. I'm just thinking logistically, like painting the picture, like trying to place myself back in the convention center venue and knowing that, like, as you're waiting in that initial area, those doors are going to be opening and closing as more people are coming in. And I can't remember offhand if there's like a double door situation there, like like if it's the case that you enter and then there's that little, like you enter, there's a little gap, and then there's another set of doors. I can't remember, but probably I'm thinking like I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wearing a mask at some point during the weekend, because like last night when we went in to see the movie, we were the air was a little bit like spicy, if you will, but it wasn't that, I mean, it was spicy. It was definitely very bad air quality. But then by the time like 3-4 hours later when we got out, we like had our shirts up to our noses because of how much worse it had gotten. So please make sure that if you are someone who struggles with breathing challenges, I wouldn't want it to be the case that you end up kind of in a lurch with that. So bring a mask if you weren't already thinking of doing that. Let's see what else. Yeah, and I guess last thing I'll say as I am starting to ramble and just kind of wrap this up is I hope that if any of you are feeling like, hey, you can't relate to anybody at PBE, and I doubt that that's going to be the case, but if you can't, come to the club with me, get a sticker, and you're gonna have at least one person that you can talk with. And 2, because Jack will be with me. Okay, yeah, okay. Anyway, this has gotten a little bit long, but like I said, I was gonna ramble, so let me stop talking. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Or at PBE. Bye.